Welcome back, brothers and sisters of Christ. My name is Brianna and I'm back with another video. And for today's video is protect your spirit. When I say protect your spirit, I'm talking about watch what you watch what you listen to, watch who you talk to, watch who you hang around. Because these things can affect your mind and your walk with Christ knowingly or unknowingly. People like to argue this, but you may not always be aware that it's affecting you, but some things it does affect you. And you can't pinpoint it. And I'm going to give you some reasons. I'm going to give you some examples. So, when I came to Christ, I don't watch or listen to certain stuff no more because I have literally experienced my spirit being disturbed by things. I told y'all about music and how certain artists, like NBA Youngboy would make me sad, make me angry. So God had me remove that. After he revealed that to me, like, that was one of the first things he's like, stop listening to this music. Okay? But also for certain shows and movies. I never been a scary movie person. I'm not gonna lie. I do not like scary movies at all. Never did. I've always hated horror stuff. But for me, it doesn't even have to be horror. I just don't like to watch anything negative, whether it's horror or not. To be honest, I only like watching positive and happy stuff as of right now in my life. Because, yeah, I don't want to watch nothing depressing, child. Like, I don't even like watching depressing stuff. Like, I just be feeling like a lot of stuff we be looking crazy. Like, why am I sad? Why am I depressed? Why am I angry? And it just resorts back to music and the stuff you're watching. So, for another example, there was a show that my fiance and I had started watching. And this was like months ago. In the second episode, the first episode, to be honest, but we got to like the second episode and we were just feeling like strange. We were feeling eerie. Like, it was feeling like it was a presence in our home. And the show was an eerie show, suspenseful. It was that one show called 1899 on Netflix, child. But I remember having nightmares after I watched that show. And I was just feeling off afterwards. Like, I was just feeling strange in my home. Like, something is in my home. After watching that show, like, even as we were watching it, like, it's like we were hearing noises and I'm looking back, like, I'm like, something just feeling off, baby. And I remember telling my fiance, like, I'm not finishing that show. I'm not watching that show. And we both had agreed, like, when we were watching that, we were feeling off. But the next day I had a nightmare and I was just feeling off still. And I'm like, I'm not finishing that. And he was like, I felt the same. So we like, no, ma'am. So we stopped watching it. But like I said, a lot of times we're having nightmares and feeling ways and we don't know why, and whole time it's because of the things that we're watching and listening to. We can't always pinpoint what it is, but our mind and our brain is constantly working and it remembers these things that we're listening to, and it remembers these things that we're seeing, and is living and running in our head rent free. And maybe you're not thinking about it, so you don't think it's connected to anything that you're watching or listening to. But because of yourself not thinking about it doesn't mean your brain is not, you know what I'm saying? It's not subconsciously. It's in there. You know what I'm saying? It's in your brain. So this stuff can flare up anxiety. This stuff can flare up negative emotions. Like, it's literally gateways and openings for the enemy to attack us. Literally. And a lot of people think that it's not that deep. And a lot of people think that everything is not spiritual, but it literally is. And if you are not close to God, you're going to think that everything is not spiritual, because I probably would have thought that too. Like, what are you talking about? But the closer you get to the Lord, the more you realize that it's literally a spiritual war, a spiritual battle every day. Like, what's that one verse that I don't even know about heart, but it's like, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the darkness and the principalities and child. But you gotta know to know. You gotta know to know. But everything is literally spiritual, and I've experienced it, you know what I'm saying? And I noticed the difference now that I don't watch or listen to certain stuff. I notice the difference in my life, in my mood. I'm more happy, I'm more positive, I'm more at peace, because the stuff that I'm feeding my spirit. What you feed your spirit is super important. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you sit up there watching nonsense and listening to nonsense all day, feeding your spirit that nonsense is what you're thinking. Nonsense is going to be what you're acting out. I try to feed my mind with all positive things because I want to be happy. I want to be at peace. I want to be positive. So that's what I'm going to feed my spirit. The people you talk to and the people you hang around is also a huge one. I had a friend And every single time, first of all, every time before I had to, like, before I was talking to her, I had to literally prepare myself at the tides. I had to prepare myself before, I had to prepare myself before speaking to her, because every time I would talk to her, I would feel drained and I would feel down after speaking to her. So it became to the point that I had to prepare myself. And I knew that that was not how a healthy friendship should feel. Like, I knew that, I'm like, man, this is something, you know, it's spiritual, it's deeper than that. Like, why do I feel this way? And also, this same friend, when I would see her in person, I remember the last time actually I seen her in person, she was saying how she was so sleepy. She's always so sleepy and unproductive. She can't get nothing done. And as I'm sitting there in her home, I realized, I had already realized, I was thinking like, dang, I'm sleepy. Like, I'm just so sleepy. And I realized that I was super sleepy as well. And it was like more than normal. And I'm realizing that it's because, child, the energy trying to rub off on me, the negative spirit trying to rub off on me. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, honestly, because that's another story for another day. But that girl, like, I was in a spiritual battle because of her. Because of me speaking on the phone with her and me being around her in person. Child, I had to pray my way out. Like, it was crazy. But that's another story for another day. But needless to say, we're no longer friends. But I'll be telling a different story about that. But, you know, you can talk to people and you can be around people and feeling certain ways and can't seem to figure out why. Well, it's because the people you're associating yourself with. Yeah. And this is why it's so important to protect your spirit and your peace on this journey, baby, because your spirit picks up on things more. You know, you're more spiritual. You know, you're more connected to the Lord. Your spirit is more sensitive now. You know what I'm saying? Things you wouldn't have noticed before, you probably would, you know, any other time I probably would have been like, I don't know why this happening to me before I came to the Lord. But now I'm looking like, I know why this happening to me. You know what I'm saying? And you're more spiritually aware. You're more spiritually awake. So you notice, like, this person's spirit. I can already pick up on people's spirit anyway. Now, you know, it's like I could do that to a certain extent back then, like discernment. But now it's like on a deeper level. Like, I can tell, like, if you got some type of dark vibe, dark energy, you're not really connected with God. Like, I can feel it, and I'm cool on you. I'm cool on you. I am big on protecting my peace. I am big on protecting my spirit, my relationship with God, baby. I don't have the time. It is so important what you listen to, what you watch, who are you around, who are you talking to, because these things is what you're feeding your spirit. That's why I watch a lot of godly stuff, gospel stuff. I listen to only gospel music. I ain't got no community yet, but, you know, I'm going to church. I'm going to surround myself with godly people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cannot afford it. I don't have the time, baby. It's hard to fight them spiritual battles. Like, you bring that wrong person into your life, baby. Sometimes it could be hard to get back to where you were because you done brought the wrong person to your life and their spirit is draining you. Their negative spirit is rubbing off on you. Now you fighting a spiritual battle that you didn't even have to be fighting. Because you knew that person wasn't for you. So, and that's another reason why we got to consult with God about the people that we bring into our lives. And that we're speaking to. Because, baby, you can mess up and bring the wrong person around and they will have you, child. No, please. Because we don't even know what people be indulging in. Child, people be indulging in other stuff and you come around them, spirit done rubbed off on you. Spirit, well, it's trying to take you over. You know, you under attack, I should say. But like I said, I got a story for that. That's a video for another day, child. You know, you got to be careful. You got to know that these people are with Christ. You got to ask God to reveal who these people are and who they truly serve, baby. Because if they worshiping Baal, you know what I'm saying? They consulting mediums and stuff like that, child. Don't bring that negative stuff in your life. No, ma'am. But yeah, so just protect your peace, protect your spirit, baby, and feed your spirit good things, positive things, peaceful things, baby. Like, don't drain yourself, don't do that to yourself. So that was one of the things that really helped me on my walk, like paying attention to what, you know, being mindful of what I'm watching and what I'm listening to. Like, that helped me so much, because when I think back on when I was in the world, how much those things drained me, what I was watching, what I was listening to, how much it really did affect me. I'm like, wow, that's so crazy. But when you know better, you do better. That's it, that's all. So now I know, and I do better. But if this word is not for you, it's for somebody else. Remember, I'm telling y'all this because I love y'all. God bless.